we've talked about the main window here. We've talked about these currency pair windows. We've talked about these menus here. We've talked about these bottom parts here. I think they are all covered. We've talked about these options here, the menus at the right hand. Talked about the prices at the right hand side here, and we have also covered, I believe we have covered these buttons at the top right corner here. The paper icon with the plus on it is to initiate a new trade, to take a new trade, while the button beside it, this right one right here, is to do a drop down of all the currency pairs that are active on your account right now. Okay, so right now we're going to ignore all the other ones and focus on this area, this middle here. Okay, so that's what we are focusing on. So what we need here is this scroll, how do I call this now, this circular ball here, because I'm using a tablet. If I was on a computer, it's a different way of doing it. I hope I'll be able to show you how to do it on I'll do another video showing how to do some of these things using a laptop, because I know some of you will be using a laptop and a lot of people will be using their mobile phone. But if you're using your mobile phone, it won't be much different from what you are seeing here. Okay, the difference will be very, very slight, except that you might not be seeing as much information as this at once. So I may have to do a video using a mobile phone later on, but for now I'm just going to focus on this tablet I'm using right now. So we have the lines and shapes button here, and we have the indicator buttons here, and then we have the crosshair button here, and then we now have the time frame starting with 1 minute and going all the way to monthly. So we've talked about the time frame already, so you understand that. Now what we want to do is to draw a trend line. Okay, to draw a trend line. Now a trend line is drawn in this form. If you are in an uptrend, you draw the trend line below the price action. Now this, so what you're looking at is the bottom of the first candle, as you can see in this candle here. So this candle that I have highlighted now, you see how my line is just resting at the base of that candle, and then you want to look at the last candle that you can see right now. It's not resting at the base of the last candle, it's resting at the wick of the last candle. So I would just adjust it a bit to move it to the base of the last candle. Okay, so now it's at the base of the last candle. So you can see the base of the first candle and the base of the last candle. Now, if you look at this trend line, you know that your trend line is valid if your price action pulls back to that trend line several times from the beginning to the end. Let's look at it. So let's look at them. Check out these points. This is the first point that you use to draw it, and then you see the touch here. Can you see that? Those two candles, the two empty candles, pulled back to that trend line and continue back up, and then after a while they came back to the trend line again at this point, and they pulled back up and kept coming back to the trend line. Can you see? They keep respecting the trend line. Now this is a very, very valid trend line. Okay, so this is how to draw a trend line, and it tells you that right now you are in an uptrend. No matter what is happening in the market, you are in an uptrend, and when you are in an uptrend, you should be looking for buy opportunities, which means I would be waiting for this candle to finish playing at this trend line and go back up a little. Then I will enter a buy. I will start going up with it. Okay, so that is how to trade with a trend line. Now we know how to draw a trend line, and we know how to enter trade in a trend line. So if I was trading this now and I was able to draw the trend line when this candle, and I use this candle and this candle to draw the trend line, I would have waited. Maybe price was already here by that time. I would have waited for the pullback to this point, and then I would have entered the market here and traded it up. Okay, so by now my trade would have gone from here all the way to somewhere here, which is close to 59456239, close to about 600 to 700 pips in profit right now. So, and right now as it is, I could still wait for this candle to complete at this point, and I will still trade it up and go with it as far as it wants to go. So right now the market is still in an up trend for euro and euro Australian dollar on the daily chart. So this is what trend line is, and this is how to use a trend line. Now, in the next video, I'm going to stop this video here. It's getting pretty long. In the next video, I will be talking about support and resistance. But before we talk about support and resistance, let's look at drawing a downtrend. Okay, drawing a downtrend. So I'm going to draw a downtrend quickly inside a trend line from, let me just pick it from here down to the last one. Okay, now there are two ways to trade a downtrend. You can actually trade the trend itself, that is trade as it's coming down. So since you're in a downtrend now, you can be selling as it's coming down, and now that we're in an uptrend, we can be buying as it's going up. Or you can wait for the trend to complete and for a reversal to occur. When a reversal like this occur from down to up, then you can actually trade the reversal and start buying up. So you wait for it to break out of this trend, and then you join the trend up here. So I'm going to talk on that more in the next video, and then we'll talk about support and maybe support and resistance. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.